The night she appeared in my room, I thought I was dreaming. It was 2:17 a.m. I remember the time because I couldn't sleep. Rain tapped softly against my apartment window, and the city hummed in the distance like a tired machine refusing to shut down. My desk lamp was still on. Books were scattered across my table, mostly astrophysics journals and translated alien signal theories. That's when the air changed. It didn't flicker or shimmer the way movies show teleportation. It compressed, like the room inhaled. Then she fell out of nothing. She landed on my carpet with a soft thud and a startled gasp. I shot up from my chair, heart racing. A figure lay in the middle of my bedroom, small, slender, wrapped in silver fabric that looked like woven light. She slowly pushed herself upright, and when she looked at me, the world shifted. Her eyes weren't human. They were layered, rings of pale violet light orbiting dark centers like living galaxies. Her skin held a faint luminescent hue, as if moonlight lived beneath it. Her hair flowed weightlessly around her shoulders, shimmering like strands of liquid crystal. She wasn't just alien. She was regal and terrified. We stared at each other in frozen silence. Then she whispered something in a language that sounded like glass bells striking underwater. I didn't understand the words, but I understood the fear. She scrambled backward, pressing herself against my wall as if I were the threat. Her breathing was uneven. Her hands trembled. "Hey," I said slowly, raising both palms. "I'm not going to hurt you." She didn't understand my language either, but she watched my movements carefully, assessing. I moved slowly toward my desk and slid my translator device toward me. It was experimental, built from intercepted extraterrestrial signal patterns. I had no idea if it would work, but it was the only thing I had. I activated it. Static, distortion, then faint harmonics. She tilted her head when the device hummed. Her fear shifted into curiosity. I pointed at myself. "Daniel." The translator crackled. Then, broken and metallic, "Dan-il." Her eyes widened. She pointed at herself and spoke a name so fluid it felt impossible to replicate. The translator struggled. "Erilith." I swallowed. "Erilith," I repeated carefully. Her lips parted slightly. And for the first time, she didn't look afraid. A princess without a throne. Over the next hour, fragmented communication began. Her words came in bursts. The translator misfired often, but slowly meaning formed. She wasn't a soldier. She wasn't a scout. She was royalty. A princess from a system nearly 600 light years away. Her people, called the Valeri, were a civilization built on harmonic resonance. Their architecture sang. Their ships responded to emotion. Their rulers governed through empathic connection. And someone wanted her gone. There had been an internal uprising. A faction that believed humans were a threat. A faction that believed alliances with Earth would weaken their sovereignty. Erilith had supported peace. So they targeted her. She escaped through a restricted emergency conduit, one meant for evacuation into Allied coordinates. Earth wasn't on that list, but something malfunctioned, and she ended up in my bedroom. "Why here?" I finally asked. The translator hesitated. Her gaze drifted around my room, to the star charts pinned to the walls, to the telescope near the window, to the open notebook filled with alien linguistic models. She looked back at me. "You listen," the translator rendered softly. The words hit deeper than they should have. "You were searching," she added. And then I understood. She hadn't landed here by accident. She had felt the signal. Mine. For years I had studied alien transmissions, subtle pulses buried in cosmic background noise. I had tried to understand them, not exploit them.
Somehow she sensed that.
And she chose my room. Sanctuary. The first morning was chaos. I had to call in sick, cancel meetings, pull every curtain closed. Aerolith moved cautiously, touching objects with reverent curiosity. She studied light switches.
Books.
My mirror. When she saw her reflection, she froze. Her expression shifted from confusion to grief.
Home.
I asked gently. She nodded once.
They searched, she said.
They will trace the conduit. How long? Soon. The word lingered like thunder. I paced the room. My apartment wasn't a fortress. It was barely 400 square feet. One bedroom, one living room, a small kitchen, hardly fit for royalty. Yet she walked to my bed and sat quietly on its edge.
This safe, she said.
It wasn't confidence. It was hope. And I realized something. She didn't need a palace. She needed sanctuary. Learning each other. Days passed. We adapted. I set up electromagnetic shielding around the room using modified research equipment. It wasn't military grade, but it masked unusual frequencies. She taught me about harmonic science, how emotion shapes energy fields, how resonance could power ships, how discord could destroy them. She was shy in human spaces, but when she spoke of her people, her posture straightened, her voice steadied. She was every bit a princess. One evening, as rain tapped the window again, she stood near my bookshelf. Why alone? She asked suddenly. The translator caught it cleanly. I hesitated. I prefer quiet, I said. People can be loud. She tilted her head. Valeri also loud, she said softly. Too many minds touching. It struck me then. She wasn't just hiding from rebels. She was hiding from overwhelm, from expectation, from a throne that demanded perfection. And here, in my small human room, she could simply exist. The trace. It happened on the 6th night. The lights flickered. Not city grid flicker. Frequency disruption. Aerolith stiffened instantly. They found, she whispered. My monitor spiked, anomalous gravitational readings above the building.
A ship. Cloaked. Scanning.
My stomach dropped. What do we do? She looked at me. Fear again, but beneath it trust. You hide me? Yes, I said without hesitation. The word surprised even me. She stepped closer. The air between us warmed, subtle harmonic resonance. Her power responding to my intent. Suddenly, the apartment vibrated. A low hum descended from above. They were locking onto her energy signature. Aerolith closed her eyes. No, run, she whispered. I tired of run. I grabbed her shoulders. Then we don't run. I didn't know what I meant yet, but something in me refused to give her up. The harmonic choice. She guided me quickly. Valeri resonance amplifies through bond, she explained urgently. 2 minds stronger than one. You want to connect? I asked. She nodded. Risky. Deep. Irreversible. If I bonded with her energy field, they would detect me too. My life would never return to normal. I looked around my small room. The messy desk, the flickering lamp, the rain-streaked window. Then I looked at her. A princess without a throne. A leader without safety. And somehow she chose me. I'm not letting them take you, I said. She stepped forward, placed her palm against my chest. Her skin was warm. Light pulsed beneath it. Open, she whispered. I closed my eyes and felt everything. Her world. Her palace of singing crystal towers. The betrayal. The loneliness. The weight of expectation. The fear of never being seen as herself. And beneath it all, a quiet longing for stillness. For sanctuary. When I opened my eyes, light filled the room. Not blinding. Harmonic. Balanced. Our energies intertwined. The ship above faltered. Their scan destabilized. Confusion rippled through the frequency. Aerolith's voice rose, not in fear, but command. A royal harmonic tone that vibrated through the walls. She wasn't hiding anymore. She was declaring. The signal projected outward, not as distress, but as sovereignty. The rebels hesitated, because now she wasn't alone. She had allied resonance.
Me.
After a tense, suspended moment, the gravitational distortion vanished. The ship retreated. Aftermath. Silence returned. The lights stabilized. My knees buckled slightly as the energy drained. Aerolith caught me. "You stayed," she said softly. "Of course I did." Her eyes shimmered brighter than before. Not with fear. With relief. "I chose correct sanctuary," she whispered. I laughed weakly. "You chose a tiny apartment above a laundromat."
She smiled, small, genuine.
"Palace loud," she said. "Here, heart quiet." The decision. We both knew they might return. The bond we formed couldn't be undone. Earth would eventually notice unusual energy fluctuations. The Valeri Council might detect her survival. This wasn't the end. It was a beginning. "You could come with me," she said one evening, standing by the window. "Valeri need bridge. You understand resonance." It was an invitation. Not as refugee. As equal. I looked at the city skyline. At the life I'd known. Then at her. "You chose my room as your sanctuary," I said slowly. "Maybe it's time I see yours." Her expression softened in a way I'd never seen before.
Hope.
Not royal hope. Personal hope. Epilogue. A different throne. 3 months later, I stood beneath crystal towers that sang when wind passed through them. The Valeri capital shimmered with living architecture, harmonic rivers of light flowing between structures. Some still distrusted me. Some watched cautiously. But none could deny what they felt when Aerolith stood beside me. Balanced.
Steady.
Stronger. Not because I saved her, but because she no longer stood alone. In private moments, away from councils and diplomats, she would lean slightly against me and whisper, "Sanctuary is not place. It is presence." And I understood. She hadn't chosen my room because it was safe. She chose it because I was. And now, whether on earth or among the stars, that sanctuary traveled with us. Not a palace. Not a throne. Just two beings who found quiet in each other. And sometimes, that is enough to change galaxies.